Hello, guys. Welcome back to the channel. All right, guys, the agenda is no longer hiding. It is unfolding right in front of our damn eyes. Operation Kelsey's World is in full effect, and it looks like Stephanie White is hell-bent on pushing Kelsey Mitchell into the MVP conversation. Look at these last few games. The entire offense has basically become Kelsey Mitchell's personal scoring mission. Even when she hasn't played particularly well, they keep force-feeding her. When she was stuck at 18 points, they kept going back to her through the fourth quarter and overtime just to get that scoring streak to 20. And now it's happening again against the Dallas Wings. Almost every damn possession with Kelsey Mitchell on the floor seems designed to get her shots, touches, and points. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's role in the offense becomes a massive question mark. That's what makes this whole situation so controversial. Is Indiana Fever actually trying to win games, or are they protecting Kelsey Mitchell's scoring streak and building an MVP narrative around her? And then you see Stephanie White and Kelsey Mitchell celebrating the scoring streak even after a loss. And fans are sitting there thinking, what the hell is going on? Because if the priority is winning, losing the game while celebrating an individual scoring milestone looks absolutely bizarre. So let's listen to exactly what Stephanie White and Kelsey Mitchell had to say as they celebrate the streak despite another damn loss.
Kelsey, obviously, the result you all wanted, but personally, games tonight. Let's go through your last couple of days that have been kind of, up and down after Toronto, and then what's it mean to set that?
I think that it's a part of the game. So for one, I just want to, congratulate my team for making me look good. But I think ultimately it just comes down, obviously, to work. But I don't really take statistics really that serious. So a lot of this stuff was really circumstantial to me. And so I want to get the dub, and we didn't get that. So I think keeping the focus on the right thing, keeping the main thing is important.
I guess this is for both of you guys, Lexi and Kelsey. I spoke to you guys' creative director earlier this year, just your thoughts about Jasmine, sorry. Just your thoughts about, collaborating with him on some of the stuff you guys.
Oh, yeah. Really great guy. I think a lot of his designs and creativity has made our few girls happy. A lot of the stuff that he put together at the beginning of the season was really dope, and we got a chance to meet him and everything that he brought to the table. And so it's great to build relationships, but I think ultimately it's great to also be grateful for the people that do things like that. So shout out to him.
This question for Lexi. This is time with STW Media. You built a reputation on bringing energy and toughness. What did you feel the team needed more down the stretch tonight?
I think more energy and toughness. I think we talked about it in the locker room at half, and we talked about it again at the end of the game that they're playing to make the playoffs. They came in with a lot of energy, a lot of grit, and I think at the end of the day they just wanted it more. They were more desperate for the win. So for us, I think it's just we needed more of that. We needed to be the team that wanted it more, and I don't think that we were today.
Great. So this is for Coach White, anyone that might want to answer. The regular season series against Dallas is now complete. What do you take away from these matchups if you potentially see them again later in the season?
I think the biggest thing is we got to be better on the defensive end of the floor. I think the first matchup we gave them over 100 points, gave them 91 here today. They made some really good adjustments. They forced us to guard one-on-one. We've improved on the defensive end, but we've got to continue to grow, in those areas. We got to finish plays. 12 second chance points in the second half when we're trying to make a comeback. All those possessions matter. At the end of the day, it's a possession game. And 50-50 balls, offensive rebounds, turnovers, free throws, and dead balls, it makes it hard to do what we do best, and that's play in transition. So we've got to be more disciplined at times. But they're a tough team. They're a great team. They've got great scorers. They've got really smart players. They've got a great coach. And, they're a team that makes it really tough on you. They don't fight the game. They keep you honest, and they make you be really disciplined on the defensive end.
Yeah, just for Steph, kind of on that energy and toughness standpoint, how did you see that fall flat more in the second half? And do you think the road trip obviously has anything to do with it, with how much you guys can play?
Yeah, I thought it in the first half was worse than the second half. I thought our energy, our activity, our awareness wasn't great in the first half at all. It was almost like we were sleepwalking. It was better in the second half, but, Enrique did what Enrique does, right? And sometimes that's really hard to stop. And we missed some opportunities. I thought there was some fatigue in our shots. When our long shots aren't falling, we got to find other ways to get defenders in rotation. I thought we got really tunnel vision in our attacks. Their length really bothered us. We didn't find the next pass. We didn't find the best shot on the floor. That's an area that, again, we have to continue to grow. But Lexi said it. They were desperate. We're desperate too, and we got to play like it.
No, Coach, we don't get to see you. We don't get to see you twice a year. Is this a standard atmosphere for your games on the road?
Because at this point, the message from the Stephanie White Hails feels pretty damn clear. Forget the loss, forget the bigger picture, just celebrate Kelsey Mitchell's scoring streak. That seems to be the priority. Stephanie White has basically catered the entire offense around Kelsey Mitchell. And listen, Kelsey is a baller. Nobody is denying that. She can get buckets, she can create shots, and when she gets hot, she can absolutely cook. But there is a massive difference between getting Kelsey Mitchell involved and completely reshaping the offense around her. That is where the controversy starts. Where the hell is the Caitlin Clark pick and roll? Ball screen action is one of Caitlin Clark's biggest strengths. It creates opportunities for her to attack, hit shooters, find Aaliyah Boston inside, or create something for herself. But instead, Caitlin Clark has increasingly been forced into ISO situations. And because Caitlin is so damn talented, she has actually become good at it. But that's not the bread and butter of her game. The bread and butter is running the offense, manipulating defenses, using screens, creating advantages, and making everyone around her better. Yet that entire dynamic appears to have been pushed aside to accommodate what Kelsey Mitchell does best. And then you hear the discussion about the scoring streak. When Kelsey Mitchell is sitting at 18 or 19 points, everybody knows what happens next. The damn shots keep coming. If she is short of 20, suddenly every possession becomes get Kelsey the ball. More shots, more touches, more opportunities. And that's where fans are asking a very simple question. Are you trying to win the basketball game, or are you trying to protect an individual scoring streak? Because those are not always the same thing. A coach playing to win would be demanding more energy, more grit, better defensive execution, stronger rebounding, and smarter offensive decisions. A coach playing to protect somebody's statistics is going to keep feeding that player, even when the game itself is slipping away. And then Stephanie White talks about Dallas making really good adjustments. Okay, great. They made adjustments. What adjustments did you make? That is the damn question. Dallas figured out they didn't want the ball in Caitlin Clark's hands. They pressured her, disrupted the action, and made Indiana uncomfortable. And instead of finding ways to counter that, Indiana kept going back to Kelsey Mitchell one-on-one. Over and over, Kelsey, Kelsey, Kelsey. That's basically what the offense looked like. And Dallas made its own adjustments. They changed matchups, went bigger, and found ways to attack Indiana's weaknesses. Meanwhile, Indiana appeared stuck in the same damn plan from the opening minutes to the final buzzer. That's not just a player problem, that's a coaching problem. And then comes the excuse that Dallas is a tough team. Come on, the Dallas Wings have struggled badly, especially around and after the All-Star break. They've dropped 8 of their last 11 games, and the team has dealt with major personnel changes, including the loss of their starting guard, the #1 pick, Paige Bueckers. So suddenly this is some unbeatable monster? No, that's not accountability. That's an excuse. And the problems with Indiana aren't new. They've been giving up offensive rebounds, they've been losing 50-50 balls, they've been getting pushed around physically. They gave up 16 offensive rebounds to Seattle, and this has become a recurring damn problem. So what exactly has changed? Where is the adjustment? Where is the urgency? Where is the defensive identity? And what the hell is happening with Aaliyah Boston? Boston is one of the most talented bigs on this roster, yet the offense isn't consistently maximizing her strengths. If you're not using effective pick and roll, especially with Caitlin Clark, you're leaving one of your best weapons sitting there unused. That makes absolutely no sense. Then you look at Irika Ogunbowale. Irika actually got rolling, shot around 50% from the field, and had one of those games where everything seemed to be falling. But that's exactly why you can't simply shrug and say she did what she does. Irika is known for taking difficult shots. Kelsey Mitchell is also an aggressive scorer. The difference is that when the opponent's shot maker gets hot, you have to adjust. Indiana didn't seem to have an answer. And then Stephanie White talks about long shots not falling and tunnel vision. Wait a damn second. Who was actually taking all those shots? Because if we're talking about tunnel vision, fans are going to look directly at Kelsey Mitchell. She was cooking, yes. Nobody is taking that away from her. But being hot doesn't mean every possession should automatically become your possession. Caitlin Clark shouldn't have to stand around while the offense becomes a Kelsey Mitchell shooting exhibition. That's the criticism. And if Stephanie White truly believes the team is playing the right way, then prove it with adjustments. Prove it with better offensive execution. Prove it by using Caitlin Clark's strengths. Prove it by getting Aaliyah Boston involved. Prove it by fixing the rebounding problem. Because right now, the criticism is getting louder. This isn't about hating Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey can score. Kelsey can ball. Kelsey deserves credit for what she has accomplished. But the Indiana Fever cannot sacrifice the entire offensive identity just to keep one scoring streak alive. At some point, winning has to matter more than the damn streak. And if Stephanie White keeps making the same decisions while expecting different results, then the questions about her coaching are not going away. So what do you guys think? Is Stephanie White building the offense around winning, or has this become the Kelsey Mitchell scoring streak show? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like the video, subscribe, and share the channel.